into position then comes Bastianini on the front row of the grid. I tell you what. Too excited as the line has come down. Through turn 5, heading down in towards turn 6. There is the first overtake coming up on the brakes, and Marquez is getting aggressive. Marquez again goes on the inside of that fluorescent yellow of Fabio Di Giannantonio. I think he made it stick as Malaysia's Bagara pulled off a similar move and moved up into 3rd position. Fabio QATARGP up into 13th place ahead of Joan Mir. Then it's Zarco. Oliveira's dropped back. Alex Rins. Pedro Acosta down to 11th position. But Jorge Martin is trying to stretch the advantage here as they come down into the braking zone. And again, Fabio Di Giannantonio goes back underneath Marquez, and Marquez responds immediately. 10.5 laps to go at the end of this one. Already several overtakes. It's Jorge Martin in control. The world champion, Pecco Bagnaia, started 5th. He runs 5th at the moment as they come through the 3rd part of this sector, through 13 into turn 14. Maverick Vinales in 10th, but Marc Marquez, and there's a move from Pecco Bagnaia, goes through on the inside of Bastianini. The world champion now up into 4th position. And the fight really that we do want to see is between Pecco and Jorge, don't we? We really want to see that as they come into the final corner. There's a nice little move from Maverick Vinales, a nice move too from Alex Marquez, gets himself up into 9th position, 8th position. As it stands, a mistake there around the outside for one of the Ducatis. That looks as though Bastianini just got a little bit out of the seat, drops back a little bit there. Pecco Bagnaia's on the move, and here comes Marc Marquez up into the top 6 then. Marquez now into lap number 2, starting to find his feet, starting to find his rhythm, and up into the top 6. Again, all of this is data for Marc Marquez's first race with Ducati through turn number 7 into turn 8. This race is not over, there's a long, long way to go. Still in the lead though, it is Jorge Martin. Jack Miller now just being passed by Fabio Di Giannantonio. We saw this last year, didn't we, from Digia on the 3rd row of the grid, slowly but surely worked his way forward. Fastest middle sector for Marc Marquez. Martin still leads. Marc Marquez looking as though he's going to be the 2nd fastest rider on the track at the moment. Marquez again through the, in fact Marquez now faster than anybody through the third sector. Marquez is really starting to get to grips with this Ducati in race conditions. The gap between the leading 6 riders is only about 1.1 seconds, and there's going to be a change there. Miller's going to be overtaken by Pedro Acosta. So as Brad Binder goes forward, Jack Miller goes backwards. As across the line we go once more. We saw last year, is it? Yeah, 152.1 is 0.8 of a second quicker than last year's race lap record set by Enea Bastianini, so they are not hanging around. Second fastest rider on the circuit is Marc Marquez, 152.2. So we get on to lap 9 laps remaining. We're on to lap number 3. Through sector 2, Aleix Espargaro now coming under pressure from the 2 Ducatis, making the 3 Ducatis, because right behind Bastianini now is Marc Marquez. This is a replay of what happened with Enea on the brakes. He went in on the brakes and just is going to run a bit wide, and there's nothing that he can do. So that was that mistake that I saw a little bit earlier on. Here are your leading 6. There's a yellow flag in sector 3, and down has gone one. Oh, it's Fabio Di Giannantonio, the winner from last year, has thrown away 7th position, and he crashes out of the first race of the season. And Fabio Di Giannantonio will score no points in this race. The leading riders are coming together, and unfortunately for Fabio, he is I tell you, that is a big moment yet coming out of turn 6. Still leads, Brad Binder in 2nd place. Pecco Bagnaia, the world champions, now moved up into 3rd place. And as I said, how much is Marquez willing to risk? The top 6 are clear. 7's now from Alex Marquez. Pedro Acosta now in 8th. And the final point of the one will go to Jack Miller. 10th position, Johan Zarco in 11th, Fabio Quartararo in 12th, and really the biggest surprise for me in this race is Marco Bezzecchi. He's down in 13th place. He just really seems to be stuck, not able to move forward. Marc Marquez is moving forward sideways and every which way in between as they come hard on the brakes through turn number 12. And his leading 6 riders are still together. Marquez carrying incredible corner speed through 13 and into 14. He's not going to be close enough though, surely on the brakes into turn 15, and he's not on this lap. Bastianini just seems to be losing a little bit of ground now over Aleix Espargaro as they come through to complete what will be lap number 5. Lap number 4, even, I'm getting carried away. Extra laps here, haven't we? It's 11 laps, not 10. Goes across the line, goes Marquez has now got the second Aprilia ahead of Jack Miller, so Jack Miller drops down into 10th position. How far away is Fabio Quartararo? I tell you what, Fabio Quartararo is lapping pretty quick here. There's a yellow flag now in sector 3. I'm not sure as to why that is. We'll see when we can. Quartararo lapping as quick as Maverick Vinales. I tell you what, if we could find or see as Brad Binder now is all over the back of the race leader. Jorge Martin is under real pressure here from Brad Binder, who looks on the inside, there's no way through into turn 15. And it just seems as this race is settling down, Brad Binder again has a look on the inside. And of course, Jorge Martin will see the shadows on the floor. Again, a different line as they come out of the finals. Oh, they're absolutely together. This is cracking stuff. Marc Marquez is ahead of Elia Bastianini. I remind you, hasn't won a race since the San Marino Grand Prix in 2021. Of course, this would be a sprint win. I wouldn't be the same as a Grand Prix win, but a win is a win as far as I'm concerned. And Marc Marquez can now smell a podium here. I know there's a lot of fans wanting to see this fight, whether Marquez would be quick, and he's all over the back now of Aleix Espargaro. Martin seems to have regrouped a little bit on this lap, and the gap has opened up to half a second. Martin setting the fastest first sector as Marquez riding on board with Aleix Espargaro. Marquez is closing a little bit wide there. That's going to compromise him through this corner. You see a little bit defensive there from Aleix Espargaro. They can see the leaders. This is a cracking start to the MotoGP season into turn 15. Ducati, KTM, Ducati, Aprilia, Ducati. Into the final corner, Marquez trying to square the exit. The Aprilia is good on the acceleration, but Marquez has got a really good drive here. To win after changing manufacturer was Maverick Vinales in 2017. Before that, it was Casey Stoner, and before that, it was of course that legendary switch from Honda to Yamaha for Valentino Rossi at Velcro. Remember when he went down and kissed the front of the bike at the end of the race? This would be something really special for Marc Marquez, but Jorge Martin, let's take nothing away from the runner-up in the World Championship last year. He said he's arrived here this season with a point to prove, and at the moment it's a 0.7 of a second advantage. Marquez sets the fastest first sector. Bastianini as well, also very quick through sector 1. Impressive lap times of 52.0 is the outright record at the moment. Jorge Martin, as he did in the race here last year, is stretching the advantage. He was the Tissot sprint winner last year. He was so good in the sprint races. So too was Brad Binder. Let's not forget his great ride from the South African. Brad Binder made a cracking start from the 4th position, moved into 2nd place. He's briefly challenged Jorge Martin, but hasn't been able to do anything about it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, mirror signal maneuver. still ahead of Marco Bezzecchi. Into turn 6. There you go, they're very evenly matched on, but there's no way at the moment for Marquez or Pecco Bagnaia to make a move. 12 points for the win, 9 for second, 7 for third, and then it's 6-5, 4-3, 2-1. Pecco Bagnaia is being given some information on his dashboard. As they come into turn 10, hard on the brakes. The gap at the front is maintaining a 0.6 of a second advantage. Telling Pecco Bagnaia the gap. He knows he's only got 0.3 of a second over 3 riders. He's not home and dry with the podium here, is the world champion. Marquez again just a little bit wide through turn 12 and into turn 13. Marquez makes a big mistake through 14, comes back in front of Aleix Espargaro, who needs no second invitation. Who's the bravest? They touch each other through 15, and that's going to compromise Marquez. That was a mistake from Marquez, and Aleix Espargaro just saying to Mark, don't give me the gap, because I will respond. Right, Marquez, if you want a podium, you're going to have to respond immediately. Over the line. It's a very different riding style this break. He said himself, and sometimes forgets, and why is that the reason now that Marquez has just made a couple of mistakes. No mistakes at the front though for Jorge Martin. Lights the flag, leader of this race as it stands. Marquez, the bike though, just moving around a little bit as they come through turn 7. Pedro Acosta still in 8th position, doing a really good job here. A little bit further back than Maverick Vinales has a 3-second lead over Jack Miller. Jorge Martin, that gap is still half a second. You just get the feeling that Pecco Bagnaia won second place. Wants to let Jorge Martin know that as far as this championship goes, you may have a 3-point lead, but that's all I'm going to give you as they come through turn 14 into 15 now. Marquez has lost touch, and again I just wonder with that bike moving around whether he's just taken a little bit from the tyres. As he said, he was wanting to be competitive, he wanted to show that he could run in the top 5, and he's fought for the podium in the early stages, so that it's got to be confidence building for Marquez. Over the line then, with 2 laps remaining. To escape. Jorge Martin controlling the advantage at the front. And still in second place, and for the South African fans here, it's going to be a great start to the 2024 season for the South African. Second place for Binder, potentially ahead of Pecco Bagnaia, who will want at least to start the season with a podium. He's got all the experience from winning that first title. He knows that the championship's not going to be won here. It's all about getting the points on the board. Aleix Espargaro, this is going to be the strongest start to the season that he's ever had as well. Good for Aprilia. Another little mistake there from Pecco Bagnaia as we come through with a lap and a half remaining. Marquez still hanging on ahead of Enea Bastianini. Alex Marquez now is really going quicker. 52.6. Quickest rider on the circuit is Alex Marquez. So I'm not a betting man, but expect Alex to be in the fight tomorrow as once again, here comes a move from the Aprilia into the braking zone, and this time there's no mistake from Aleix Espargaro. Espargaro takes third position, 1 lap remaining. The ultimate world to let them meet on short second. the top six. Alex Marquez closing in all the time. Pedro Acosta and Maverick Vinales look like an additional point for Aprilia as they come through then in towards turn 7. It doesn't look as though Pecco has got any. And again, Pecco loses the outside foot peg there. Jorge Martin has been unruffled in this race. Real mistake there from Pecco. Are we going to see a late charge here from the Aprilia rider? Aleix Espargaro, look at this as they come around under the Tiso bridge. This is the Tiso sprint. Pecco Bagnaia now dropping back into the clutches of Marc Marquez. Are we going to see? Oh, tell you what, Jorge Martin is still taking risks on the curbs here. He can't afford to make a mistake. We saw what happened in the Asia Talent Cup race. If you get over that curve and you get it wrong, you're soon going to be on the floor. But there's been no mistakes. He's one corner away then from victory. And to take the lead in the MotoGP World Championship into the final corner, the Prima Pramac racing rider was denied the World Championship in the final round of the season in Valencia. No mistakes, no denial. The FIFA winner waves the checkered flag. Ducati from KTM and Aprilia, 3 manufacturers on the podium. You couldn't ask for more than that. I'm off to the podium. I'll see you there.